Now, Louisiana's best newscast, live in high definition. This is KNOE 8 News, your breaking news and weather authority.
A Union Parish escapee caught all the way in Arizona. Tonight, details on the steps taken leading up to his arrest.
Plus, Election Day is almost here. Tonight, a look at the candidates running in Madison Parish.
And we head west to West Monroe High School to take a look at today's Special Olympic Games.
Right now, from your breaking news and weather authority, this is KNOE 8 News live at 5.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mark Boyle.
And I'm Jenna Browder. Right at the top, your no-wait weather with meteorologist Tom Pearson.
Well, another nice day across the Arklamas. Of course, we started off a little on the chilly side, but plenty of sunshine today. Warmed us well into the 60s. Area-wide, only a couple of passing high clouds down to our south, so basically clear skies overnight tonight. It'll be chilly once again with low temperatures in the 30s to around 40 degrees. And maybe a couple of clouds around in the morning, but then look for some increasing clouds as we go through the day. South winds will also be increasing, south-southwesterly at about 10 to 15. Expect mostly cloudy skies, I would think, by tomorrow evening. And then some thunderstorms. It looks like on Saturday. We'll have more on your weather coming up in about 15 minutes.
In our top story tonight, a Union Parish escapee is finally caught hundreds of miles away in Arizona.
Our Hillary Hunt spoke with Union Parish Sheriff Dusty Gates, who says communication between several law enforcement agencies led to the arrest.
One escapee is captured in Mesa, Arizona, and another is still on the loose following their jailbreak from the Union Parish Detention Center on February 22nd.
Today, Sheriff Dusty Gates received a call from the Mesa Police Department right outside Phoenix, Arizona, saying they had this man, Benjamin Moran, in custody. Moran serving time for aggravated incest, and this man, Thomas Kennard, escaped from the Union Parish Detention Center back in February. Gates says communication with other agencies and technology is what made the arrest possible.
Also enter the escapee's name into a national database which goes throughout the country, and it notifies or alerts any other police agency, whether it be a local, state, or federal agency, that that individual is wanted in Union Parish.
Now we have been told that Moreno is cooperating with authorities in hopes of finding the other escapee. In Farmerville, Hillary Hunt, KNOE 8 News.
Coming up at 6, we'll explain how the two escaped.
New tonight, West Monroe police nabbed 3 people in the middle of an apparent drug deal. Late last night, police found Mark Cannon and Chelsea Brown outside the Motel 6 on Constitution Drive. After police found drugs on Cannon, he allowed them to search the room. That's where they found Bobby Martin inside with a syringe and suspected methamphetamine. Now, during the search, police uncovered a scale, more drug paraphernalia, baggies, and nearly 16 grams of suspected meth and 7 grams of suspected methadone. All 3 were booked on various drug charges. Meantime, a couple of lane changes without a signal on Thomas Road near I-20 led to another drug arrest. Metro Narcotics agents pulled over 24-year-old Jolie Pittard. Inside her car, they found meth, marijuana, and several prescription drugs. Pittard, who's from Tennessee, was arrested and booked into the Ouachita Correctional Center on 5 counts of drug possession.
The Mississippi man who was mistaken for dead several weeks ago has died. Walter Snowball Williams made international headlines when he woke up in a body bag inside a funeral home last month. Family members say Williams died early this morning at his home in Lexington.
2 people are dead and over 24 injured in Austin, Texas, after a car crashes into a crowd at the South by Southwest Festival. It all started when the suspect was driving the wrong way down a one-way street. Now, police tried to pull him over, suspecting him of drinking and driving. That's when he sped off, almost hit an officer, and later crashed into the crowd. Now, the suspect, who we've just learned is 21-year-old Rashad Owens, now faces 2 counts of capital murder, accused of killing 2 people who were on a moped.
Turning to international news now, where yet another conflicting storyline has emerged in the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 after search crews failed to find any trace of debris suggested by Chinese satellite photographs. Malaysian officials said there was no evidence to back a report suggesting the plane may have kept flying for 4 hours after its last reported contact. This belief was based on data transmitted to the ground from passenger jets' airline engines. Back in Louisiana, candidates in Tallulah are making their presence known with yard signs, each asking for votes in the April election.
On the ballot are the mayor, chief of police, and one city council seat. Our Jeremy Pierre was in Tallulah today and talked with voters about the importance of this election.
Here in Tallulah, they are gearing up for April 5th. That's Election Day. And citizens want to get the word out to other citizens about how important this election is and how important it is to get to know the candidates running for office.
We have so many issues in this town, and it's going to take all of the citizens coming together through collective efficacy to address the issues. It can't be just the mayor's solution. We have to come together. Many of our people have the greatest hearts. They want to do something outstanding in our town. We want everyone to feel that way. However, it does take some training. It does take the development of leadership skills.
Early voting starts March 22nd. Election Day is April 5th. In Tallulah, Jeremy Pierre, KNOE 8 News.
All right, thank you, Jeremy. And the Madison Parish Chamber of Commerce will host a candidates forum to help residents get to know all of the candidates. It'll be at the Tallulah Community Center next Thursday at 5:30.
It's a day for new beginnings in Lake Providence. Today, the community and Avricom Virtual Solutions officially marked the grand opening of a new call center. Training of new employees has been underway for several weeks now. Monroe Mayor Jamie Mayo was there to congratulate the Monroe-based business on the expansion. Avricom hopes to bring more than 300 jobs to Lake Providence over the next 2 years.
And another opening to tell you about tonight. This one is happening as we speak in Monroe. Chef Corey Barr's new restaurant, Nona, is now open to the public. And the family-oriented eatery features mainly Italian cuisine. It's open from 5 to 11, but after the first couple of weeks, they say they plan to extend those hours.
More than 200 athletes were running, throwing, and long-distance jumping at West Monroe High School today as hundreds cheered on the Special Olympics athletes. Hundreds of area athletes were timed by dozens of volunteers during the 4-hour event. And it's certainly a day where everybody comes away a winner. Everybody has a medal to prove it, too. Organizers like Teresa Howard say they couldn't have asked for better weather and participants.
We have about 200 athletes participating today from area schools. So it's awesome, the response that we had, volunteers coming out to help with us. So it really helps out a lot.
The athletes have an opportunity to qualify for the state games, and from there, they can continue on to the national games, which is in New Jersey this year. An ongoing search for victims in New York following an explosion that collapsed 2 buildings and killed 7 people. Tonight, an update.
And back here in the ArkLaMiss, a Bluebird Day. What you can expect as you make those weekend plans. Stay with us.
You're watching #1 rated KNOE 8 News, your breaking news and weather authority with Mark Boyle, Jenna Browder, Tom Pearson, and Aaron Dietrich.
News across the nation where the search continues for the victims of the gas explosion that collapsed 2 buildings in New York City yesterday morning.
7 people are dead and several victims are still in the hospital. Alexis Christophorus has the latest from the scene.
More than 24 hours after a gas explosion knocked down 2 East Harlem buildings, firefighters were still spraying water on the smoldering ruins. Workers used heavy equipment to pick up huge piles of debris, including bricks, broken glass, and people's belongings. Firefighters used thermal imaging cameras to search for missing victims.
I can only imagine, knowing that at any moment you might find a body, how difficult that is.
New York Mayor Bill de Blasio thanked first responders and urged people who live and work in the area to limit their exposure to the air, which could still contain harmful particles. Residents say the smell of gas was persistent in the days leading up to the explosion, but the utility company Con Edison says it received only 2 reports of leaks at the buildings in the past 3 years. The last one, 10 months ago. Con Edison says the gas main that leads to the destroyed buildings is made of cast iron, more than 125 years old. But it passed a routine inspection just 2 weeks ago and was not on its list of pipes to be replaced. For now, dozens of displaced residents are staying at a Red Cross shelter.
They're obviously in shock, and many ran for their lives. They're just happy to be safe.
Police officials confirm the devastating explosion was recorded on area surveillance cameras, but those images are not being released to the media. Alexis Christophorus, CBS News, New York.
And if you haven't downloaded the new KNOE mobile app, you're missing out on the latest news, weather, and sports on the go. Our app has been designed for your smartphones and tablets. To get it, just go to KNOE.com where you'll find all of the information you need to have the power of KNOE 8 News at your fingertips. It's just another reason we're your breaking news and weather authority.
Well, picture a perfect day outside today, but how many more will we have ahead? Tom will explain coming up.
Well, spring is just about a week away, and Tom, it is really starting to feel like spring.
Astronomically speaking, it's about a week away, but you might recall Monday, the geese announced, actually last Saturday, the geese announced
the official announcement.
Right,
yeah.
that winter is over. So far, so good on that, although it was a little chilly this morning. That's to be expected, but hopefully our battles from Arctic air are over with. Anyway, there's a look outside of the Green Creek Tower Cam. It's a delightful day. We started off chilly, but ended up pretty nice with wall-to-wall sunshine. Hey, yesterday was a big success at Max Fresh Market in Swartz, programming our weather radios. We had over 100 radios programmed in just a 3-hour period. And of course, we're going to do it again next Wednesday from 4 until 7 p.m., this time at Academy Sports and Outdoors in West Monroe. So again, these are specially priced radios. You can buy them wherever you want. Academy or Max have them specially priced and readily available as well. So come on by. We'll even throw in some free batteries as long as they last. Now, we did actually run out of batteries yesterday, but the good folks at Max provided us with some more to give to you folks that came out to get your radios programmed. So good deal and definitely a potentially life-saving device. So come on out and get one of those as we head into severe weather season. Not a thing showing up right now, and really nothing expected until probably Saturday. And then we could have some storms around and perhaps even some severe weather. At the moment, it looks like it might be out to our west and to our southwest, but we'll be pretty close, and we'll show you that graphically in just a moment. 66, our current dew point temperature, though, still quite low, way down in the upper end of the 20s, but that will be increasing over the next couple of days as our winds get more of a southerly component to them and bring some of that Gulf of Mexico moisture up here. Temperature-wise, not too bad, mainly in the 60s. Out west, a little bit warmer, but they also have some pretty strong winds as our next weather system will be approaching from the west. Look at these temperatures, mid and upper 60s after low temperatures this morning, as anticipated, down into the 30s. In fact, you guys in El Dorado even below freezing, down around 30, 31 degrees or so. so. So it looks like most of the eastern part of the country looking pretty good. Still pretty chilly, though, through the Great Lakes and New England. Now, on this particular satellite vantage point, doesn't look like much going on out to the west, but believe it or not, there's a pretty potent upper-level storm system out there, so we have lots of different tools and ways to look at some of this. And one of the best ways, at least in this situation, is the water vapor imagery. And you can pretty clearly see a big twist in the clouds there, or in the water vapor imagery moving into the southwestern U.S. That'll be our next weather maker. And you hear us talk about troughs of low pressure from time to time. Look at this big trough. See that big dip in the jet stream there? That's all carved out. That's where the cooler air is, and under the ridge back here to our west, temperatures a little bit warmer. In fact, 80s back through that part of the world. So again, this is going to be a couple of days out. And oops, I'm sorry, I forgot to change that from Sunday to Saturday. This is actually Saturday, again, not Sunday, so a slight risk of seeing severe storms through the southwestern half of Louisiana and a good chunk of eastern and northern Texas. Now that all could change as we go through time, but that's where the best areas look to be right now for severe storms. But a stray severe storm certainly not out of the question for us again on Saturday, not so much on Sunday. Overnight tonight, things should be pretty quiet, clear skies, temperatures dropping off into the upper 30s to around 40. The winds calm or becoming light south or southwesterly through the overnight hours, and then during the day tomorrow, we'll see south-southwesterly winds at about 10 to 15 and high temperatures around 70. We'll probably start off with some sunshine, but as we head through the day, we'll see some increasing clouds as well. So there's that chance of strong to potentially severe storms on Saturday, and most of that activity probably to our west or southwest, and cooling off a bit on Monday, and then back to some warmer temperatures as we head into and through spring next week.
Okay, sounds good. And it is all the avid hunters. You need to listen up to this next story. Aaron Dietrich has one that you'll all envy coming up.
Welcome to Sports Shorts, something off the beaten path today. The story of a hunter in North Carolina who has a story to tell and a freezer full of meat to show for it. Katie Banks has the story.
8 feet long and weighing in at more than 500 pounds, this massive wild hog still didn't stand a chance against veteran hunter Jet Webb's .308 caliber rifle.
It was very surreal. It was a shock. It was very humbling, to say the least, when you walk up on a beast that big and you say, oh my gosh, I had no idea that there could be something that big running around the woods of eastern North Carolina.
Last month, Webb spotted the beast roaming near the Indian Woods in Bertie County on land leased by the White Oak Ranch Hunting Club. It was the same one other hunters had been vying for since capturing it on trail cameras years ago.
The mohawk down the back, the tusk, really lean, muscular, big front end. This is far from a domesticated, docile pig that we're used to.
It takes your breath away for a second to realize how big this hog is. Fills up the entire bed of the pickup truck.
White Oak Ranch President Mike Mansell says it's part of a growing wild boar population here in the East. One he estimates is doubling each year.
They're a species that is evasive. Once you have them, you're not going to get rid of them. They just continue to multiply.
Webb killed a similar sized pig 2 years ago. It's now mounted on the walls of the hunting club. But this time around, he chose to only harvest the meat, filling 2 big coolers to the brim with sausage, pork chops, and tenderloin.
We're not going to waste anything, so that pig will provide food for me and my family for a good year.
As for the skeptics, Webb swears his picture is not photoshopped and says most reaction online has been positive, an experience that will go down in his record books as unforgettable.
I just set out to try to put a little meat in the freezer, but afterwards I was completely blown away.
Area team's looking to go hog wild tonight. We'll break down all the basketball games at 6 o'clock.
Well done. We'll be right back.
All right, we'll see clear skies overnight tonight. Some increasing clouds during the day tomorrow. Overnight lows a little on the chilly side, down to around 40, but some locations likely in the upper end of the 30s, mid-60s by midday tomorrow with high temperatures right around 70. Could see some thunderstorms though on Saturday.
Okay, that's all our time at 5.
We're back at 6. We'll see you then.
Follow KNOE 8 News 24 hours a day on our news, weather, and KNOE 8 Live apps.